Hey folks, this is not an episode this week. It's kind of a news break, update, explanation kind of a thing. It's also not scripted. I'm just going to talk and tell you what's going on and, what I think and feel about things. So I've been doing this here podcast for a minute now. Like I started making the first episodes in February of 2018, and I've gotten, 200 under my belt, tons of guest appearances on other shows, all the bonus material over on the Patreon. I've made a lot of content. It takes a lot to do it, too. I mean, an episode of Your Brain on Facts takes between 12 and 20 hours out of my week, and honestly, it's probably 20 or 25, realistically. Some of that is to do with the actual severity of the work. Some of it's to do with my, we're all pretty sure I've got ADHD. I mean, I haven't been tested, but walk and quack, So yeah, researching, writing 7 pages of script, recording, editing, and I am pretty particular when I'm editing. You're looking at 20 hours of work at least. And when I had sponsors, it was more justifiable, but finding sponsors, that's big chunks of hours you have to invest too. And the social media and all of that stuff, and trying to get audience engagement. In no way, shape, or form am I blaming anyone who hears this for anything that's going on. But audience engagement is one of those things you need, and it's one of the things I have struggled to cultivate. And somewhere along the line, the last month or two, I just don't want to do it anymore. It's not that I became overly frustrated, because this process was always frustrating. Ask anyone who makes a podcast or a YouTube channel, any, creative content or content just on a regular basis, and they'll illustrate for you the curves and valleys of, this is great, I'm going to knock it out of the park, why do I do this to myself every week? It wasn't that I was feeling that frustration, I just felt a complete lack of interest in my own show anymore. I have a couple of windows of episodes I'm supposed to have written, all my research tabs open, topics I find interesting, like Billy Tipton, the jazz musician who, upon his death, it was discovered he's a woman that had been living as a man most of his adult life. It's an interesting story. I want to tell it, but I just can't be arsed, and I don't know why. So what I think I'm going to do, because I'm also dealing with some, personal stuff with the husband and the voiceover business and all that stuff. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take, if not a month, maybe the remainder of the summer, just off from the podcast. When I feel like it's time to come back, I'll start hopefully getting stuff laid out in advance, having some spare episodes in the can, all that stuff I always swore I would do to run my show correctly and never quite exactly got around to doing. This isn't a cry for help. It's not me fishing for compliments or anything like that. Please don't feel any kind of obligation to reach out to me with support. You may, if it pleases you to do so. I'm not good with squishy human emotions, so please understand if I don't reciprocate the exact level of emotion that you were expecting. Feelings. So I'm going to take either a month or the remainder of the summer off, and then hopefully want to do my show again. Hopefully I'll miss it, and I will say, oh, I have all of these interesting facts that I want to share with people. And it might be a weekly or a bi-weekly, and I just realized I forgot to turn off the air conditioning unit behind me before I started recording, but hey, we're just ad-libbing this one, so it's all good. It'll be a weekly, or maybe I'll decide to do a bi-weekly. Honestly, I don't know, but I'm just gonna put it in a drawer for a little bit and not feel that pressure from it, and see if the interest is still there. Kind of feels like I'm in couples therapy with my podcast, and we've decided to take a break. I appreciate so much everyone who has ever listened to this show, anyone who's bought the Your Brain on Facts book. I was sitting at a table with friends the other night, a very rare occurrence, who were so surprised to hear that I have a book. And they're like, oh, when is it coming out? They're like, 2 years ago. Thank you to all of my fabulous listeners and supporters. I am sorry to bring this out of left field, but if you've been noticing the quality of my work lately, it can't be a complete surprise. I put out episode 200 and I did no promotion. I let not only myself down, but all of the people who sent me clips, you know? Maybe I'll pick up, that social media stuff and do that correctly this week. Better late than never. Better something than nothing, I guess. But I won't be gone forever. You can still follow me on the social media. I'll probably be posting mostly voiceover stuff, though, because, that's what I do for a living, and it's a big part of my consciousness. Definitely get over on my TikTok. That's where I get, real silly, and the husband has decided he's going to start helping me get silly over there. I'll talk to you later. Keep your sunny side up.